Hey everyone, Kili and Mike here from Long Range with the Lilies, and today we're doing top 10 rookie mistakes new precision rifle shooters make. These are mistakes that we have both made as new shooters and things that we consistently see new shooters do.
We're not approaching this from the standpoint of we're such great shooters and you guys need to do everything we say. It's more of now that we've been doing this sport a couple of years, we have definitely made every single one of these mistakes, and these are definitely mistakes that we see all the time, and they seem to be very common. So we're just trying to save some people some heartaches, and if you can learn from our mistakes and save yourself some trouble, and that's our goal here.
Yeah, so number one is not having a plan, and I'm gonna let you hit that one.
Because I'm guilty usually. So you should know what you're gonna do, what order the targets are gonna be engaged in, what positions you're gonna shoot for them, all those things, where your bag is going, all those things before you ever get up to the stage. So the time to figure out what you're gonna do is not when you're standing there and he asks, are you ready? Have your plan before you walk up to the stage so you can successfully execute your plan, which leads me into number two, which is sticking to your plan and not letting yourself get talked out of your plan by other people. I've definitely made this mistake when I see somebody who I perceive as a better shooter than me, or I see something that's a great idea at the time. I kind of ditch my plan and abandon my plan, and it generally goes downhill from there. I made an entire video about it for the MDT NRL match recently, and then the NRL is good enough to highlight it in their video as well, so you can see my disaster at a stage in two different places.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Travis.
Yeah. Number three, not having a pre-shot or pre-stage routine. This is a mistake that I've made a lot, multiple times in multiple different shooting sports. So I used to do USPSA, now it's precision rifle. And until I established a pre and post stage routine, I would forget things all the time. Forget to have a mag loaded, forget to get my dope, forget to make a plan. All of those things are really important, and going through that both pre-stage and post-stage is really helpful to keep you on track.
Yeah, like dialing back down to zero.
Yeah.
My personal favorite is I tend to leave my chamber flag in if I'm really focused on what I'm doing and I'm not following my pre-match routine, and then I'll try and close the bolt with the chamber flag in there and the rounds get all jammed up, and then basically I dump my plan after that because I'm so frustrated with how things are going.
It's pretty ugly.
Next one, having unrealistic expectations. I'm a super competitive person. I tend to have a hard time on focusing on anything but winning or placing well. I think it's important that when you come out, you have realistic expectations of your performance. Even though you're a good rifle shooter and you may be the best shot amongst your local group of friends, and you can shoot a robin's eye out at 1,000 yards with your BB gun, whatever. When you come out here and you start competing with the best of the best, I think it's important to understand that you're not going to win right away. You may not even do well right away, and to kind of focus on the growth and focus on having fun, and then I think your path towards success will accelerate. So set realistic expectations for yourself.
Yeah, I agree. Number five, trying something you've never done or practiced before during a match. This goes, leads in a little bit with not having a plan or sticking to your plan. Watching other shooters, they've got that tripod rear really good, and you're like, oh yeah, man, that looks really solid. I think I should try that. But you've never done it before, and you end up going to the stage and you drop stuff, or the tripod's not set up. Stick to what you know, stick to what you practice. If you want to do that later, put it into your practice routine.
Definitely. Next one, number six, trying to go too fast. A slow miss is vastly superior to a slow hit, is far vastly superior to a fast miss. Take your time, make good shots. It's safer, you'll perform better. When you're rushing through the stage trying to get 10 or 12 shots off and you only hit 2, that stinks when you compare it to the end result of maybe only getting 6 shots off, but you hit 5 of them. Mm-hmm. So definitely slow it down. Right.
Number 7, overcomplicating things or equipment, like taking 10 bags and a tripod to the stage when you might only need 1. This hits on something, one of the others that we've already hit on. You go up there and you have all your bags and you can't even manipulate your gear. So keep it simple, and likely you're going to succeed.
And there's less chance of have a yard sale after your stage.
Yeah, if you drop everything, you have to pick it right back up again.
Next one, number 8, accepting a bad shooting position. This is something I struggle with all the time. I get in a hurry. I'm focused on getting all my shots off, which leads back to going too fast. And then I get into a shooting position, and I can tell it's not ideal. I can tell I have more wobble than I normally should, but I'm like, I'm here. I don't want to waste the time to rebuild my position, so I break the shot.
Yeah, I did a video on that recently too.
Yeah, and Kili said it before. We were watching a match, watching a guy shoot, and how impressed she was that the guy had the discipline to stop and rebuild his position and then get his hits.
Yeah, anytime somebody is in their position and they're on their clock and they stop what they're doing to reset or rebuild or move a position, I'm always going to be thoroughly impressed that somebody has the presence of mind to do that instead of, kind of trying to squeak one out and make it work. It usually doesn't end up in their favor.
Number 9, not being able to find targets. This usually comes about, people aren't familiar with indexing their targets, using your rifle to point at your targets, finding the targets quickly. Generally, I see this as a result of shooting with too much magnification, but there are lots of people out there that are successful shooting on high magnification.
Yeah.
I don't want to come across as saying you shouldn't shoot on high magnification, because again, this isn't an instructional video, it's just mistakes we see. Taking too long to find your targets will cost you a ton of points. So getting good at indexing your rifle, knowing where your targets are, and being able to come down on your rifle already on target is a huge skill to work on, and if you can get good at that, it will save you a lot of points.
Agreed.
Yeah. Number 10.
Poor practice habits and practicing with too large of a target. And Mike's really good at explaining this.
So it was said in us very early that anybody can hit big targets. If you want to get better, you should miss more in practice than you hit, probably. You should be working on targets that challenge you. If there's any sort of flaw in your shooting or your technique, it'll cause you to miss. There is a fine line. You can go too small and it will ingrain some bad habits in you. Right. But generally, you should have targets that challenge you as a shooter. And you should be practicing things that challenge you as a shooter. If you go to the range and you sit down at a bench like an F-class shooter and bang away at a target at 500 yards and feel good about yourself, that's great if that's what you need, but it's probably not the best thing you could be doing for your practice routines. So this rounds out our top 10 mistakes we see shooters making. What we'd like to do now is include a couple bonus things. The first bonus one I would include that would really help a lot of shooters is worrying about what other competitors are doing. I see it all the time, guys obsessing over how many points so-and-so scored, how they shot this stage, how they shot that stage. If you focus on your own shooting and your own scores and let the scores shake themselves out at the end of the day, you're probably going to be more successful. It's a portion of your brain that's occupied with stuff that's not focused and staying in the moment. And what you find is it causes you to do things you wouldn't normally do. If so-and-so cleaned the stage and they shot it fast, well then you feel like you have to do it, but that's not normally how you shoot, and then you start missing more than you would, and you lose a couple points that may have been the difference between you actually beating the person you're worried about.
Yep.
So stay focused on the moment, stay focused in you, and just let the scores shake themselves out at the end.
So the last one is what is my favorite, and one of the mistakes that we see a lot of people make, and even experienced shooters, is only shooting with the same people over and over and over again. The sport has a lot of really great people in it, and you never know who you're gonna meet or what you're gonna learn from shooting with another competitor or somebody that you've never met before. If you've ever seen me at a match, you know I'm gonna come up and introduce myself, I'm gonna say hello, and I will talk to literally everybody and anyone, to the demise of Mike. He's always looking for me, where's my wife? But you never know. If you shoot with somebody new, they may be your new best friend, and I think it's really valuable. It's one of our favorite things about this sport.
That, and you'll get a much more exposure to a broad spectrum of techniques. You can take pieces of things that work for people. You can see different gear people are using,
yep,
how they approach different stages. If you're only shooting with the same people all the time, you're only going to learn and grow from that small slice of the pie, when the field is much broader than that. And shooting with other people may be the little breakthrough that you need to get to that next level. And also it's going to force you to be more self-sufficient and not reliant on your friends for like wing calls or how to do things and so forth and so on.
The same thing, or your spouse. Mike and I, every now and then, although we love shooting together, at the most recent MDT NRL match, we shot in different squads. We were just one squad away from each other. You know, we like seeing each other, but we felt that it was good to meet new people, and we just wanted to, you know, broaden our horizons a little bit.
So anyway, guys, we hope you enjoy the video. Again, we're not trying to be coaches or tell you guys how to shoot. There's plenty of fantastic instructors out there that can give you good instruction on the actual process of shooting. These are more competition tips that we feel like can help people grow as shooters and compete more successfully. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you like our videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and it really helps us out and helps us give us feedback on what you guys like and what you don't like.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Bye.